All right, new shop tool.
Believe it or not, I am slowly getting better at welding. And so my early attempts.
I think this may have been my first attempt. Just really, really awful. Has progressed just a little bit to where I'm starting to make a little bit finer things. I have no idea if this will focus or not, but I find myself actually sanding the weld beads now because the weld product is not as awful as it turned out to be. And so for quite a bit of time I had been using this. I guess it's really meant to get spot welds out of sheet metal, but I had been using it as kind of a belt sander, which I guess in theory it is, just a mini one. But anyway, I wanted something a little bit more substantial, and that's where this comes in. So this is a belt sander grinding station. It's got a belt sander on one end and then a grinding wheel on the other. This entire thing on Amazon with taxes and all that stuff was just under $250, maybe even under $240 to my door. So let's just go through the features. So it is 120 volts. The RPM is 3,450 RPM. The motor driving the whole thing is 1/3 of a horsepower, which isn't astonishingly large, but also, you know, not bad, especially for hobbyist use. The belt sanding portion of it is 2x42. So the actual sanding belt that goes around is 2 inches wide and is 42 inches around, or diameter, whatever you want to call it. The grinding wheel itself is a 6-inch grinding wheel, standard. I have not decided yet whether I'm going to leave it as like a silica grinding wheel or if I'm going to take that wheel off and make it a wire brush instead. Let's see, the whole thing weighs 17 kilograms. And then, yeah, according to California, it comes with cancer and reproductive damage as well. So thank you, California, for that. Anyway, here's the unboxing. Also, apologies for my audio. I left my microphone at home. So probably what I'll do is maybe a quick unboxing and then a time lapse of assembly. Also, I wasn't really sure where to put it. So before I mount it to the ground or to my workbench right there, I actually bought this is just a stand meant to accommodate grinders. I think I paid $54 for this, so my expectations for it are very low. But it will keep it right around sort of the 33, 34, 36-inch kind of work height when I'm using the belt sander over here. So I will put this together as well, and then maybe once it's all done, I'll have opinions on what I think of it. All right, here we go. All right, so this seems to be the illumination. So on the grinding wheel, you can see what you're actually doing. Let's see if I can get some batteries in here. See if that works. It's a better switch than I was expecting. Seems to be one of the belt sander bars. Some hardware. For the grinding wheel so that sparks don't fly in your face or in your arms. This looks like the pedestal that goes up against the belt sander. You know, the belt would run in here. So this is actually cast iron. And as where this goes around the belt sander, this is what you probably rest whatever you're going to grind on with the grinding wheel. At least that would make sense to me. Alright, looks like it comes with comes with 3 belts. Okay, so it comes with 3 spare belts since one is already mounted. cord's not extremely long, maybe 6 feet top, so I'll have to keep it close to where I have an outlet, I guess, or use an extension cord. Alright, well this is actually kind of a nice surprise. I expected to have to assemble a lot of this as well. Turns out that's not the case. It'll be interesting to see how I mount this to my stand. Guess I'll figure that out shortly. There's no, oh, I see. Here and here are holes. Are mounting holes, you may not be able to see them, to mount this firmly to the stand that I bought. Alright, so that's good. Alright, I guess I'll read some instructions to see how to mount all these things. And we'll go into time-lapse work. All right, well, here it is all together. I decided to put it by my welding table for now. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to end up putting it, but for now, here's a good enough home. I've done some work with it. It seems more than adequate for a hobby user, or limited commercial activity, maybe even. Mostly it's a hobbyist device, which is what I should expect for anything that costs $240, whatever it did. But it, I guess, good points is it's not very loud. You don't need ear pro when operating it. Maybe if you were to push against the grinding wheel or the sanding belt really hard, it would get loud. The other thing related to that is it does not seem to want to tip backwards when I apply pressure against the sanding belt or the grinding wheel. I was a little bit worried about that and was thinking maybe to even do something for me to step on while I was doing my grinding or sanding, but that turns out to not be necessary. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. I would give it I don't know, like 3.5 out of 5 stars, and for value maybe even 4 to 4.5 out of 5, given that it was relatively cheap and does all the things that it promised to in the description. Anyway, hope you guys thought this was useful.